So welcome everybody as we are going to be going through Studio B now and breaking up and making a team of 6 for the Arcana Cup with Mr. MJ Gettit and MagicMayson here. Be sure to hit like, subscribe down below, and join us. Comment. We're having fun tonight. It is a lovely Thursday night. Gentlemen, I absolutely agree with you on the 6. I think that core 6 that we had picked was really strong. I feel maybe we can put in a Ferrothorn in there, or maybe our own Deoxys. But I did like the Mew. I did like the Cofagrigus, the Pelipper, the Malamar. I'd love to see you guys play that. The DD, like the counter of DD, was really interesting. But gentlemen, like, we're doing this together. What do you guys think? Like, where else should we go?
What if we was like go for this is what I'm thinking. I have to power up my Tyrant because I just got the XLs for it. And yeah. What do we draw?
I'd go with that right there.
I like that too. Okay, so we've got the core picks of Mew, Tyrant, and Pelipper. Or sorry, Malamar, Tyrant, and Pelipper. All 3 of us have a core pick in there. Cofagrigus, because you guys have seen it numerous amounts of times and said it's the worst thing. So that's in. We said we needed a counter user, so we've activated Deoxys. Why not Medicham? Just to have a discussion.
I really like it because once again the Pelipper becomes a lot better matchup, not taking the super effective wing attack damage.
Okay.
And you have either the option for Thunderbolt to one-shot the Pelipper or Rock Slides for more consistent damage into things like Jump Bluff, etc. So,
does Malamar bring out the Pelipper?
It could, yeah. I think
okay.
it can entice Pelipper, but the thing is, we have a decent amount of Pelipper checks because I would consider Ferrothorn, Tyrant, and even like Deoxys average. And honestly, Coffin is new. I don't see a hard loss.
That's at least 4 checks on that team.
Yeah.
I don't see a hard loss to Pelipper at all
Right.
here.
Could we maybe swap out Deoxys for something else then? Or if there's something that we feel maybe we might need a little more coverage on. I love this team. I
want like a little more offensive pressure. You could probably swap the Deoxys out for maybe Haunter. Like go the double Shadow Claw pressure, and then like you have your Shadow Punch, Ice Punch.
Yeah.
So you threaten your Jump Bluffs that may kind of skate by in this little matchup.
Ooh,
I'm not gonna lie to you
good
guys.
in there, yeah.
I had a little bit of a thought process that came through my head earlier when we were discussing the doubles, and like the Haunter with the Ice Punch was using a strategy of double Ghost with Haunter or Coffin. You save swap the Haunter. If they bring either the Shiftry or Honchkrow, you have the Ice Punch to get shields, and then you bait it out for the Coffin to sweep in the back.
Yep.
And the Coffin not as checked anymore. That you're like you're pretty dangerous there. So giving away one of my strategies that I sort of came. Well, you guys may have thought of the same thing.
Are you happy with this lineup of 6?
Yeah. The one thing I was gonna say about DD is, I mean, look at 2 of our picks with the Tyrant and Ferrothorn. I think they're both, at least one of them, gonna be common potentially on a team, and having this like. Some of the only direct checks for those are the counter users. So having a nice direct check just so the Tyrant save swap and that aggressive Dragon Tail pressure isn't there, or the Ferrothorn being relatively safe across the board, having a counter user is just really nice for those rock types more so. Nice. Just generally, I feel like.
In the chat, someone said replace Coffin for Runic Regus.
There. Once again, I don't think Rune immediately, just because I'm like thinking of things like the Pelipper and Jump Bluff, and I'm like, all the ground typing does is make me weaker to the grass and water.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
The ground type makes you so much weaker to the water and grass types. Like the Sand Tomb helps like really make the Mew and Cofagrigus matchups like flip into your favor, but then at the same time, Jump Bluff, Pelipper, Gyarados, Venusaur, Ferrothorn, Lurantis, Shiftry, Meganium, Metacham could probably flip some of that too.
Ice
Like,
Punch. Yeah, Ice Punch from
yeah.
Medicham now becomes super effective. So
Yeah.
just a lot
Oh,
of
that's
a lot
right.
of
There's
different
Ice Punch.
things.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is a great team of 6. The Arcana meta seems really interesting. It does not feel very RPS. It feels like you're going to have a lot of generalists, a lot of great play. And I've noticed that throughout the entire wave, the entire season of Sylph, that a lot of these input Pokemon help bring out neutral play throughout the rest of the matchups. So it's not just, oh, if you lose the lead, you've lost the matchup. There's not really much RPS in this. Oh, Mr. Gettit, if you could not look at the screen, we'll have a nice friendly battle. Bring up, you don't have to turn away, but like
I'm not
just
turning away.
okay.
I'm showing my good side.
You're showing your good side.
Shows good side.
Actually, I need to turn this way because my router's over there.
Okay. The other good side.
Yeah.
And we are going to, I'm going to shout cats this. So I will do my best to not give away move sets. And we're going to see how this plays out for everybody as MagicMayson is going to take the team of 6 that we have given with Tyrunt, Ferrothorn, Defense Deoxys, Malamar, Pelipper, and Cofagrigus and go up against MJ Gettit. Mr. Gettit, what team are you rocking, sir?
I have no idea. I'm just probably gonna wing it once thing comes through, but I'm definitely using my core of Tyrunt and
Venusaur. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm actually going to test it much about because nobody I think is actually using it, but
do we really think Water Ghost is going to be real good in this grass meta?
it outpaces it. First off, it's actually pretty bulky, and then on top of that, you have Ice Beam on it as well.
That is true.
That is interesting. One thing I don't like about it is it just in terms of the ghost in the meta, the Hex is so much worse than Shadow Claw.
So but it walls Pelipper. It can kind of wall Pelipper.
Yeah,
it can. But you know what else can? You know what else can wall Pelipper? Barbarical. Crustle.
Crustle doesn't wall Pelipper.
It doesn't?
Nah.
Smackdown?
Smackdown makes it a lot easier for it to beat, but like if you take a Weather Ball, that's
you have, it's a 1-for-1. It's definitely you're giving up a shield, but those Smackdowns are gonna take that Pelipper out of the sky. Yeah.
I haven't gotten this battle.
Still not.
Oh, you didn't.
Niantic.
Oh wait! Ah, dang it! Never mind. It left.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, and then it just disappeared. Go ahead and send it.
All right, I'll send it again. Of course.
Great job. No.
There we go.
All right. So he says he's got it. Yes, the teams are choosing. Here we go. Arcana Cup, MJ Gettit versus MagicMayson. A little preview of the Sylph tournament coming in Columbus. Is Columbus in May?
End of June, actually.
End of June.
Yeah,
Nope. So Innocent Cup is what will be, what you guys will be playing then.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah. Or you guys could do a ranked OGL Sylph tournament if you wanted. Anyways. Here we go, Arcana Cup. Let's get into it. Kofa into Tyrunt. All right. The battlers here have talked about the damage that Dragon Tail does and how quickly Shadow Claw builds up. As you see, Dragon Tail is destroying, but makes the catch and gets the Bullet Seed through. A great call there. Tyrunt gonna take the Dragon Claw off and swap out, and it's Venusaur. Venusaur is now going to see this grass steel typing. The 2 core Pokemon that MJ Gettit brought out, he is now taking to MagicMayson. And Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant. I think that steel typing finally putting in the work. Maybe MJ Gettit's opponents have never realized that Ferrothorn is a thing in the meta, but Frenzy Plant doesn't really hurt it. And here we go again onto the next move. Here comes another charge move by the Venusaur. The Ferrothorn's built up so much energy now, feeling like it can go for so much. That Flash Cannon did over 2/3 of health. We talked about Mirror Shot earlier in the build core. Go check that out. But we've got Flash Cannon. As you see, it did so much damage to Venusaur's health, and a swap to Shadow Claw down. Venusaur is out. Tyrant was out with no energy, and here comes all of that energy from earlier from Cofagrigus. Now, I talked about in the core picks how Cofagrigus can throw Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball at the same time and get to an extra move count before a Dark Pulse earlier on a 6-tap the second time around, but not going for it, as he is now just going to allow the Ancient Power to come through, and oh my, that did a lot more damage, and it procced. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a proc. The game is now changed. Oh, it's so not good in the back either. This is going to be very interesting as the Dragon Claw comes through. The shield is up, but oh, that is exactly what he wants to do, because this Tyrant needs to go. Needs to get off the table, and Ferrothorn gets this damage. Needs this damage for sure.
Oh.
Because if you would have had your own on me here in the back, that would have been so bad.
Oh my goodness, the Tyrant with the Pelipper there.
And
yeah,
that's why you love Tyrant.
The Weather Ball does take the Tyrant to half, but look at what Dragon Tails are doing. It don't matter, cause it's Dragon Tailing away. Ancient Power comes through, and goodbye. Thank you for playing. No proc there. That proc definitely changed the game. Would have annihilated most of MagicMayson's Tyrant's health there. But in order to stay on it, he had 2 shields still, able to give that shield and throw off that Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn surprisingly powerful against most of that meta. Something that you should look into if you like this. The Cofagrigus Pelipper combo. Oh no, Cofagrigus Tyrant combo. Very strong with the Ferrothorn as the safe swap there. That was very interesting play by MagicMayson, but great job for keeping the energy. What will MJ Gettit do? He brought the Venusaur Tyrant the last time as his core. He has a team of 6 that he's going to try out. So let's see what he does again. Will he bring it out again?
I will say the only way. I will say the only way the Ferrothorn does beat Venusaur is if it has a Steel type move. So
luckily I do have that. But yeah, so I was thinking if you do happen to have a counter type, I could maybe bait it out with the Ferrothorn for Tyrant in the back. I got lucky with the catch, that helped out a lot too. But thinking like, especially with DD, the most common counter user that you would see would be.
Ooh. And we get Grass Poison onto the Psychic Dark Malamar, as Malamar's Cycle Cuts will be getting a little extra damage onto that Venusaur there, building up the energy. But here's the thing, Malamar, as we said, doesn't have a Psychic move, has the debuffing itself superpower and the Foul Play. So we'll find out what Venusaur wants to do and how they're going to play it. The Frenzy Plant will get shielded by this Malamar, and here comes the first charge move. Will Venusaur give up his shield? Are we seeing 1-for-1? We do not see 1-for-1 as the Venusaur takes the Foul Play, doing about half the damage as Venusaur is now in the deep red. The deep red. Another Frenzy Plant, and Venusaur does what MJ Gettit has talked about, grabbing shields from his opponent, and oh, so close to the 3rd Frenzy Plant, but not there in time. Thinking real hard and bringing in what looked like a Ghost Hex move. In comes the first Foul Play. The shield comes from the Jellicent, and there it is. All the energy off of that Venusaur earlier. Malamar is in commanding lead here, able to do the damage. Jellicent, MJ just talked about how thick it was, taking that Foul Play and showing that it can take the damage. Now, up to that Surf, which is wonderful, helping unlock this Jellicent with a bait move that does damage, but back out comes that Ferrothorn, and here comes the Haunter, scaring your way through your kids' nightmares. Haunter now on the field. Be careful that tongue, it is spooktacular. The shield finally comes through, and Haunter gets up to that charge move. This could be the Shadow Ball. I don't think that was expected after the swap. It is a Shadow Punch. Oh no, is this double punched Haunter? But here comes the second charge move. Mason's like, oh, was it double punched as well? He's shocked. And it's double punch Haunter, but Shadow Punch doesn't. Oh!
I thought that was good.
I thought that was going to KO too. All the energy from Get It as the Weather Ball goes through. But Jellison is going to get some extra farm. There it is, and can't get to the Weather Ball. This might have been his game plan the whole time. Is Shadow Ball ready? Can it take out the Ferrothorn?
It won't. You might get the 2. I don't know how much energy you have.
4. Oh.
I feel like you had some residual.
I messed up shielding that Power Whip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so hard because Haunter, I wonder how much the Power Whip does.
Haunter is frail too, right? Like, that's a glassy Pokemon. You're not looking at an easy Pokemon here. Let's see. I will look that up for you guys. 56. Good lord. Hold on. How much health does Haunter have though?
But there's a situation just
97.
What is it? 97 HP?
Though,
yeah.
We talked about Haunter with Ice Punch and Shadow Punch. There's an example where having the nuke move would have been more clutch, having the Shadow Ball. So you do still have to weigh out, if you're going to use some of these picks, well, what might be better overall for you.
And fun fact, I don't know if you gentlemen know this, Haunter and Gengar both get Dark Pulse.
Yeah, we're not using that.
Okay. Just saying. Shadow Ball, Ice Punch, those are up there. Dark Pulse could be an option.
Well, it covers the same thing as like the ghost moves, and it's less DP, right?
You could have an entire line of Dark Pulse with Mew, Haunter, and Cofagrigus. You're gonna be super weak to Honchkrow, but you can make it happen. As we get Defense Deoxys into that Haunter, and Haunter again terrifying the dreams, sticking his tongue out and having a laugh. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how are they going to play this? Now, Haunter has the Ghost typing, but it also has the Poison typing. So, Psycho Boost put at little super extra effective damage. Did we forget that it was Shadow Punch? No, we didn't. As No Shield goes through and the defense of Deoxys comes through hard. Unlike the defense of the Haunter, which might force a shield here, absolutely makes the swap, and Haunter is now seeing that tie run. Look at what Dragon Tail is just doing.
Hold up.
We gotta hold up. It is an Ice Punch. So Dragon Tail on Dragon Tail, so much energy. The next Dragon Tail goes through. So if this gets shielded, MagicMayson's Dragon will be out. It is, and oh, no, one more. There it is. Goodbye, Tyrunt. A great play there on the Dragon Claw to keep the shield so that his Tyrunt comes back in against this DD.
Let's go boost. Let's go boost.
Oh. Dragon Claw will not get you a boost, audience members, but it's back out that Ferrothorn.
Yo, I'm getting denied here. What's going on there?
What? They've stopped denying. There it is. Here comes the boost. Let's go boost. Oh, no boost for the Tyrunt here as all the energy. Oh, another charge move. Not going to give up a shield. This is going to be big.
If I would have got that sneak, man, it's bullcrap.
Finally got that sneak. 2 Pokemon left. Haunter can charm down and gonna get the first Pokemon off the table with this charge move. Ferrothorn. I know we had cored up everything else, but Ferrothorn felt real dominant here, folks. As Power Whip is gonna come through on a no shield shiny Mew. Oh, Mew, why you gotta take it? You're so shiny. Will Mew have the flame charge to boost up?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Because all of the energy on that Ferrothorn after farming down the Tyrunt and with the shield left, MagicMayson on top from the Emerald shows why he's one of the best.
That's one thing I didn't realize about
GG's
Ferrothorn.
battlers.
It's a huge wall to Tyrant, so it's
Yeah.
especially in that situation where I got like that perfect health where I could bullet seed all the way down and come out with 100 energy, it was going to be hard to take out Ferrothorn there.
Like I said, Tyrant's pretty good, but it's like if you get it up against Steel type, nah.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why Ferrothorn's underrated, and another reason why a counter user may be necessary, because Ferrothorn is going to be. I think Ferrothorn, maybe we all slept on it a little bit or just didn't make a core with it, but is definitely very useful. And some of the main only checks are like something like a Marowak, which we aren't seeing any of, or the counter users.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people are bringing the counter users just for certain things like the Ferrothorn or Tyrants or either or, you know.
Well, my thought on that is I think in factions, like the faction side of Arcana, Ferrothorn has much more play because in the tournament side, you're going to have to stick with the moveset. So like you go Power Whip, Flash Cannon, you're getting a lot of things, but then you're probably going to sacrifice maybe the rare Gengar or like the Haunter that does have like energy advantage and Shadow Ball. If you go like Thunder, you're getting all the flyers pretty much, except maybe Jump Bluff.
Yeah. All the flyers going Thunder.
Ferrothorn seems good, but it seems good because those Pokemon are top notch. So you kind of have to. It's like a top counter. I wouldn't say it's a core Pokemon. It is absolutely a top counter because we're not seeing the Marowaks, because of those other Pokemon, because of the Pelipper, because of the Cofagrigus, because of the Tyrant. Ferrothorn has a lot more play, but that doesn't mean that someone can still not bring Alolan Marowak. They can bring Alolan Marowak and dominate, but Alolan Marowak has been on the bench. So right now in this early stage, Ferrothorn has a very strong dominance because the cores that we've picked were Pelipper, Cofagrigus, Tyrant, Mew.
I just had a thought because you just mentioned all those Pokemon, and we just had an event where, what was it? Fomantis was like running around free. So everybody kind of had a chance to get themselves a Lorantis.
Oh, I went hard on that.
Fairy Cutter, Leaf Blade, and Superpower. That can do some serious damage to most of the top meta, Ferrothorn itself, most of the grasses, most of the psychics, some of the ghost types, even not Cofagrigus. So it'll get walled by Cofagrigus. But outside of that, like that's another little side pick that can rise up.
Especially if we start seeing more Ferrothorns pollute the meta, you can now have an immediate response. And I did go for that Lorantis because the minute I saw Fomantis back out, I was like, where's my Lorantis? Because it's such a great moveset. And it also has access to Razor Leaf too. Yes, sir. Before all the flies go into your mouth.
I was just going to say, you said not the coffin. In the 2 shields, you get the 4 Leaf Blades before they get to a 3rd Dark Pulse. So you win the 2 shields with Lorantis with good move timing.
Wow.
So I was waiting for you guys to finish, but I really wanted to spit that out real quick because it's actually something that is very underrated there too. With once again similar to Malamar with the superpower coverage as well, is pretty good. And like the Leaf Blades hit like the Pelipper very hard, as a flyer and a lot of things. Plus, like if they do happen to have a Shifty on your team, you can pretty much Fury Cutter all the way through that whole thing and come out loaded. So, those kind of situations are definitely useful for it.
I love the fact that we are looking at this meta in the solo tournament after seeing 6 straight weeks of it, and you guys are finding new Pokemon to play with and finding new opportunities. That just tells how great and how open these metas are and how wonderful it is, and it doesn't feel like a hard shift is going to really hurt you. You can still balance it out, and Sylph has done a great job this season throughout all of these metas, working them out. And I think it's just wonderful that we're here now having this discussion with you two we've all seen Arcana. We're tired of Arcana, but now you guys seem like you might have a little fire in you, maybe to play Lorantis, maybe to bring Ferrothorn, or even better, Alolan Marowak.
No, Ferrothorn maybe, not the other two. The other two just maybe in a late month tournament, like last call, and I might decide to do it. Maybe that, but Ferrothorn is the only one of that group where I was even thinking about in the first place.
Mason, how did you feel with the team?
I felt really good there.
You feel really good with the team.
I mean,
MJ,
I didn't have much to go off based off of what MJ was gonna bring there, so like it wasn't too bad. But like, I mean, like a lot of those picks feel safe, and like especially something like that line where a little bit double weak to counter, and making room for Tyron to sweep in the back was a little bit fun. And Fairthorn felt really strong. I mean, I've definitely used it in factions, but man, I think I thought it felt even stronger there before than like I have used it when I used it in the past. So.
MJ, how did you feel going against that team?
It makes me really wish I had a counter user against them.
Okay.
Like I was literally like, okay, I'll bring my core picks. I want to use the Jellicent because like I see it being highly ranked. It's like, okay, it's got to have some play. Like, okay, cool. Haunter, I just wanted to use a double punch, and then Mew was just on there because it's Mew. Who doesn't like Mew? But then, yeah, that Fairthorn and then having Flash Cannon, I was like, okay, yeah, this is where not having a counter user is really going to hurt. And then not having Shadow Ball on Haunter was going to hurt, yeah.
That definitely cost you. Well, that's great. I'm glad you guys were able to give that, like, going into there and talking about the different aspects, feeling strong even though you were blind going in with the team, and then as the opponent feeling like, oh, I don't know what to bring, what to do. That's great. Like, you need to have a counter user or you're in trouble. Wonderful, because there's not that many counter users. They're all down at the bottom. So hopefully this information helps you, the battler, get ready for May 1st when Arcana kicks up, because it has been a wonderful 6 weeks in factions, but you've been able to mix out and change it up during each round. Now you can't, and you have to be stuck with the team. So playing the fun stuff is great to get that surprise, but you should be able to be in the tournament and ready to get the win with your team no matter what, even if you're not surprising your opponent. And this team here is wonderful, and these gentlemen have did a great job helping us build this lovely team. So
about the Haunter situations, with Ice Punch against both Shiftry and Honchkrow, you actually win the 0 and 1 scenario. So Haunter actually beats those. So you have the ability to like bait those out and like either flip the matchups or guaranteed shield advantage.
I know there's some tricks you gotta do, but I know it can beat Pelipper in the ones with Ice Punch.
Okay, that is super fun.
I believe it.
I believe it. I'm surprised. Why didn't you throw Ice Punch in game 2?
I needed to get a lot of move, like that stab bonus right there.
Oh, okay. You're just getting extra damage there.
If I threw one Ice Punch, I wasn't going to get to the second one.
Got it.
Yeah, Shadow Punch is 5 energy less, and actually does 0.02 more DPE. I was thinking though, I mean, you're losing a little bit, but you could also even go for the Ice Punch Shadow Ball play. That way you have the nuke play still, and you have a punch.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That was the lineup.
Well, because my thought was that would be punch. Yeah, my thought is double punch is more so keep myself safe against Coffagrigus.
Yeah, that's the whole nice point about Shadow Punch is to have it for the Coffin. You outpace it consistently. Because if you have Shadow Ball, then they're actually outpacing you to the Dark Pulses.
Yep.
Which they can throw at you instead of vice versa.
You're going for a straight Shadow Ball.
So then as a Haunter user, you have to figure out what your Haunter is going to be used for, Cofagrigus or Pelipper, and figure out like what your team is asking, what your lines are trying to do, and make sure you can line that up properly. Definitely usable.
As a Haunter user, you also got to realize what IVs you want. Like I kind of like my Haunter having like 5, 6 attack IVs, maybe even 7, just pushing it there. Just like have that, and then probably 15, 14 on the defense side.
I don't really like using glassy Pokemon, but I actually did. I did mention the Haunter, so I actually like that one in this meta, and I feel like Haunter is a thing if you can, like, especially if you can, you know, maximize your energy gains in certain matchups and come out with energy. Haunter can sweep like entire teams. Like it is very dangerous, and like we said, with only 2 dark types in the meta, or I guess technically 3, but Malamar takes neutral from Shadow Claws and any other ghost moves, and the other 2 are both weak to Ice Punch. It really can't be walled. I mean, it's gonna lose to things like Gyarados and Tyrant especially in the later shielding scenarios, because like fast move pressure and even like Pelipper in a lot of scenarios, but it really doesn't get walled to the where it's gonna get lot beat in every matchup in every
The,
shielding scenario.
the only, and again, I said this with my core, the only thing I think of that really just stops Haunter Dead in this track is Bronzong, but again, you're not seeing any Bronzong at all.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a wonderful 2 hours of core building and team running here. I feel like we have gotten a great start on our Arcana Cup, getting a little extra tidbit with that Ferrothorn and maybe even providing some counters. But the core picks, the team lineup here is so good. We'll have to see what the score is later. Talk about that later. I'm sure it's pretty deep. But yeah, gentlemen, how do you feel about this team?
I think it's really solid.
Yeah, this is a solid, strong team. Like you got Pelipper, put it anywhere. Tyrant's the best lead on the team. Rodriguez can take anything. Ferrothorn, like you basically pick the moveset you want there. You can go Thunder, Flash Cannon for the big same type attack bonus nuke, Mirror Shot to get them maybe attack debuff.
Mm-hmm.
It covers a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really like it because you feel like you're not really weak. You have the two things weak to the counter uses, but then you have like the Coffin, the Pelly, the Malamar, which fight back against it. You have things sort of weak to the Shadow Claws, but then you have like the Malamar with foul plays, and Ferrothorn it seems to do well against all the Shadow Claw users, except I guess technically not against the Haunter and Gengar because of the poison typings, but like there's ways around that as well. And just so it seems like a lot of the good synergy where you have like things that cover each other well. And this team is also very flexible. We talked about if you want to use like a double flyer, you could replace Ferrothorn with Jumpluff. If you want to use double Shadow Claw, we already talked about replacing Deoxys with either Mew or Haunter. You wanted to do double Dark, you can replace Tyrant with Shiftry or Ferrothorn with Shiftry, and you have like two Dark types that hard answer the Shadow Claw users a little bit better. Any of those are viable options, so you really have a little bit of flexibility with this 6 here as well too. Like Crust, you can put Crustle in there over the Tyrant if you prefer, fast move rock pressure. So
you can pick and choose when you want to use your shields too with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, enough tanky. Yeah, enough bulk here for sure.
This is a great team put together, and hopefully it's going to help you, the battlers, out there as we are starting our Arcana Cup here May 1st. So be on the lookout as it is kicked off here, and this team is going to help you down the line. Mr. MJ Gettit, MagicMayson, thank you for joining me today on the channel. I really appreciate your guys' analysis and stuff like that. Where can people go and find you?
Yeah. So I guess I'll kick off real quick. Simple enough, MagicMayson. So main thing I post on is Twitter. Any updates with GBL, any of my play Pokemon stuff, still if any updates with that. And then I stream on Twitch. Same thing, twitch.tv/MagicMayson. So if you see me live, or go over, drop a follow, get notifications. If you see me live, come hang out. We just play some battles and have some fun. So always appreciate anybody to stopping by.
You can catch me on Twitter. At MJ Gettit. Basically FSPN content and a whole lot of other stuff. I go for the jokes and stay for the fun. So like just come on by and enjoy the time while I just lose my mind sometimes, So
awesome.
That's find me.
Great analysis done by you through the FSPN, giving us all the recaps of NA, of what's going on in all of the leagues. So be sure to check that out on the Sylph channel, as well as the articles of NA, Latinum, EU, and APAC are written up there, and MJ Gettit is the representative for NA. So thank you, MJ, for those analysis. And thank you, gentlemen, again for joining me. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight on this lovely channel. We hope you guys are having a fun Arcana Cup as it is about to kick off, and we are about to finish up the Season 5 of Sylph. Be sure to like the video so we know what you guys are liking down here, and thank you all for watching. I'm Sosa Flow, and like always,